kids don't usually do playgrounds anymore. It's kind of sad. That was not a cause of black people, I could tell you that much. Because even when black people were at their worst, everybody was still outside playing baseball in the middle of the street. Kids don't play baseball anywhere now. They barely even play them on a team because you got to have a certain grade ratio, and then they make that grade ratio impossible. My recommendation is that we stop building playgrounds and on every block, like in the middle of the block, say you got 10 houses, or let's just say 11 houses, so that sixth house right in the middle, right across from each other, they're arcades, but they're free arcades full of PlayStations and all sorts of different shit like that, right? Our problem is people might try to steal stuff out of it. Okay. Yeah, that's a problem. But my biggest problem is the fact that kids don't have a Christmas, and that leads them into having to steal shit. The prevention of people to stealing shit, it doesn't matter how many times you punish somebody for stealing something when they're poor and that's their only option to eat. Until you kill me, that's what I have to do. Just like the runt. Until you kill me, I gotta keep fighting until I kill you, or you listen to me. I'm sick and tired of living in a world where kids have no Christmas, where the Jews have no Hanukkah, where it's self-created. It shouldn't necessarily be self-created, even though it is self-created. It should be on a basis of government control. The government shouldn't control the people. The government should, take pride in the holidays that the people created for them. That's your time of celebration. And you should use our money to celebrate, just like with the Thanksgiving. It works better that way. If you have less people working with a bigger success rate rather than having everybody work with no success rate. When slavery went on, employment was 100%. But nobody had enough money to survive. Before you got here, our employment rate was nearly zero. But we had so much food and items that we could have we just gave it to you. And it wasn't just a one-time thing, it was every day. What, you think you're just going to eat one meal and then we're going to be like, yeah, I'll let them starve for the rest of the time? No, you were able to live here for 500 years because we continually fed you. Now, at some certain point in time, we started doing trade with China. The British started to see the problem. They made American food too expensive, and they claimed American food as American food when in all reality it's native food. And we hate the term native. We're a Shawnee tribe. I'm a Shawnee tribe. Yes, I'm Indian, but I'm also Confederate Indian. But that doesn't make me Confederate American at all. Any term of American, to me, is negative. The Americans killed us. The Confederate Americans killed us. The Native Americans killed us. Mexican Americans killed us. Chinese Americans killed us. Japanese Americans killed us. Anybody with the term American attached to it has attacked us. Just because you assume that I'm American, or it's not even that I'm American, it's the fact that I hate you. And why would I not hate you when you treat me the way that you do? That's just a natural reaction. Either that or I'd be in Stockholm, or I'm going to have PTSD. One or the other. I could do that same thing to you. If it could be done to me, it could be done to you. Now, I'm not stupid enough to fall for that shit. You might be stupid enough to fall for it. Just like, if I'm sitting here telling you my life and examples, and you're like, oh, you're in denial about this, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, I could just tell you, you're in denial about the factual truth of time and place. In 1880, was it the perfect time to go to the moon? Probably not. Could we do it? Yeah, of course. Did they do it? I'm pretty sure they did. Hot air balloons, they get up there pretty high. It doesn't take very long before you're out of gravity's pull. But it's scary as hell to get all the way up that ways. It's scary as hell. Ask any hot air balloon person alive today. I mean, a lot of these kids don't understand that. But instead of spending all these money on fucking, playgrounds, we could make arcades like on every block that are free for kids. Every kid's got their games, and we could put all the games there, rather than just a GameStop. I mean, if we could sell the games while they're there too, that's even better. I mean, yeah, it's a store, but let the kids come in there and use it as a free arcade. I mean, those GameStops should just be like a house. It's like the Home Stop, rather than Home Depot or whatever. It's a non-profit organization, but any profit we make goes right back into donating. If you bought that game, then we could replace that game with 3 games. Which means we could give out a couple Christmas presents. Yeah, I'm sick and tired of that kind of shit. I was that kid. Okay, my main problem with Christmas that I told you is that Christmas's ideology is that if you were bad, you don't get anything for Christmas but coal. And if you were good, you get everything you asked for. Now, that leaves everybody at an impossibility of Christmas unless you're completely rich and can afford everything that anybody ever put on their list. Now, I was a poor kid that didn't really get to celebrate Christmas at all. Or Hanukkah. It's just that and simple. It's not the fact that we didn't fucking believe in it as a holiday of love type situation and we didn't have good times. But as a kid, they brainwash you into thinking if you don't get anything for Christmas, it's because you're bad. So I keep trying harder and harder to be good, which weirdly leads us into this example of how I could kind of technically save the world's financial issues just by simply explaining it's not how much money you make, it's about how much percentage of the money you get to use to yourself.